handling the expectations of our parents can be really tough sometimes. They want and they have a certain picture in their mind of what is best for us. And we obviously have our own idea of what we should be doing and strive for. So when these two pictures clash, that can create some pretty uncomfortable situations. And it's fairly hard on you, on your mind, when you argue with your parents, or they keep asking you what you're doing. They want you to be doing a certain thing. They don't understand the stuff you're doing. All the things, the meditation sessions, the books you're reading, all the habits you do, how persistent you are with your training and everything. They won't understand that, because they don't have this goal in their mind that we have, that is forcing us more or less to perform each day and at least try to give our best to advance our position in life. And that's kind of the starting point in addressing our parents' expectations, that we have to accept that it's very hard to change that. And we have to come to terms that their view for us is going to be very differently than the one we have ourselves. And the reason for this is that they think they know the best for us, because they've seen us grow from essentially nothing in our mother's wombs to now turning out to be individuals that can make decisions and has to make decisions, and quite life-altering ones. And because they've seen us when we were weak, when we were young, they still have this perception that they have authority over us and that they know better than us, because that's how it's always been. When we were 7 years old, it didn't matter how strong of a will we had. They did know best at that point. And this kind of dynamic between a child and their parent, it's persistent well into the years in your 20s. That's at least what I've heard. I'm 21, so I don't have the most experience on this, but that's what I've been able to pick out of both my relationship with my parents and other people and their experiences. And what kind of goes hand in hand with this is that we are kind of the only ones that have such high expectations on ourselves. Now, our parents, they want just a few things for us. And the number one thing is for us to be happy. That's the thing they care about the most. As long as we are happy, they're gonna be fairly okay with almost whatever we do. Their view of how we are gonna be happy and how we're gonna get a good life is very differently than the one we have ourselves. And I like to say that our parents, they want us to play in order not to lose. So in other words, taking it safe and not taking a lot of risks. While we need to play in order to win. And a lot more risk comes with that naturally. You cannot have a high reward without having a high risk. And we have this potential. We know how far we can reach because we see it every day. The internet has made so many opportunities available to us, and it's at least my opinion that in today's day and age, it's the easiest time to become something, to become successful, to become wealthy, easier than it has ever been, because we have the internet and all these tools available to us. It is true that we have a lot more distractions, social media and everything. But the opportunity is there's no doubt about it. And our parents won't really understand that opportunity. So they want us to play it safe, and that in most cases includes going to school, studying, and then getting a job and sticking around at that job. And then they want us to get a home. If there's a mortgage, like, they don't really care. That's what everybody does, right? And start a family. And that's when they kind of can take a sigh of relief and let us live our own lives. But up until that point, I've noticed a lot of stress in parents, that they just have this need inside of them to make sure we get to that point of having this home set up and a stable income set up. And until we reach that position as their children, they're gonna be very hard on us and make sure we actually move in that direction. It's just that their picture of what we need is very differently from what we actually want. And it is very hard to convince them of what we're doing and what the thing we're doing, that it is the right thing. because they come from a time when they didn't have these opportunities with the internet. So they have an outdated view on what's possible. There's no convincing here. There's not a presentation you can make to them to try and tell them that you should be doing what you want to do. It's that you have to do the thing you want to do anyway, and have to understand that they won't change their minds until they see significant results from you. So that's something you need to carry with you, because it can be so hard sometimes. And I've felt this a lot, that we know what our parents want, and they're very critical and skeptic of our own journeys and what we're doing really. They think we're doing too much, like meditation, what's that? But we know where we're going, and we think we know where we're going. We think we're doing the right thing. And if it is the wrong path for us after all, then we will have learned so much that the life lessons will be worth it anyway. So really, there aren't that many risks to our journey. But of course, our parents won't view it as that. They see it as a massive amount of risk. We may have this view in our mind, at least I have, that I want to become successful and wealthy to be able to pay back and to make sure I can secure the future of both my future family and for my parents, to be able to retire them early, or at least give them the choice to live their life as they want for the rest of their lives. And I think that's a common goal. We want to be able to give this to our parents. But they don't even have that expectation. They're not sitting around and thinking, oh, if my son just retires me in 5 years, that's going to be great. They don't even think that. It's not in the realm of possibilities in their mind. So with that, we can make a conclusion that you and I, us, that you are the only person that expects greatness out of you. Which subsequently means that if you don't succeed, if you fail in this journey, if you play it safe and don't reach your potential or anywhere near it, then you're the only one that's gonna have to take the consequences of that. You're the one that's gonna be mad at yourself. You're the one that's gonna have to feel every day that you gave something up by playing it safe. That's what you're gonna have to take. That's super important to keep in mind. That you're only letting yourself down. That this is about you and your journey. So your parents, they can tell you whatever they want. But if you're not doing what you're doing, you're never gonna reach where you want to go. And if you don't reach where you want to go, you're gonna be stuck and frustrated with yourself. And you're the only one that's gonna have to take that blame. And you're the only one that's gonna have to live with that. We gotta start taking responsibility for our own lives to the utmost extent we can. That means we cannot care about what other people think about our journey and our goals, where we want to go. And it doesn't really matter if that's our parents who stand in our way and affect us negatively or tries to sway us. We cannot let them do that. It's our own journey, and it's only us it's gonna affect. We are the ones who's gonna bring all the good stuff, all the wealth, if you will, if that's what you're after. You're the only one who can bring that to your family, but you're also the only one who can fail on that, and the only chance your family really got. Because hey, if your plan is to retire your family and you don't do that, who's gonna do that then? So you're telling me that what your parents think, the expectations on you, it's too hard on you. So that's the thing that's gonna hold you back? That's the thing that's gonna stop you from actually helping them out. In this case, it's not them who knows the best for you, it's you who knows what's best for you and them. So do your own thing and stop being so scared of what they think. And stop thinking that they know so much better than you. It is true that they know certain things better than you, and you should certainly always respect them and listen to their advice. But in the end, it's you who has to make that final decision. Because it's only you who has lived through and gotten the experiences that you have in here. And you're the only one that can really say, this is where I want to go in life. And nobody can tell you differently. It doesn't matter if it's your parents who stand on the sideline screaming at you to turn around, if you think that's what's best for you, to go forward, then you better do that, or else you're gonna be pretty disappointed in yourself in a few years. I'm a little fired up, a little passionate, because this means a lot. This matters a lot. And it's frustrating. And I'm speaking from experience here, that it can be hard to deal with that, with our parents think they're best for us and their expectations for our lives. But in the end, we gotta trust our instincts. Because if we don't do that here, how can we ever trust those instincts? How can we ever live a life and get to the point where we actually enjoy living and we feel that we did our best? Because it's not so much about ending up in the most successful, wealthy position, but it is about doing everything you can so that you can feel at the end of the day, at the end of your life, that you did everything, that you reached the position that you fought for, with a good result to show for it, with a good life to live because of it. So do your own thing, and I'll see you again, my friend.